Yo, what's up, man? It's your boy TUSK out to the day. Mr. Flow So Good, Matiba Totle, Mr. Skip of my what. Y'all already know, but fit to back with you guys with yet another YouTube video. If you are new to the channel, please do make sure click that red button and subscribe before you leave. Also making sure to click the bell next to that red button because that's what makes sure that YouTube does notify you every time we upload a video. If you are already a subscriber, make sure that you click the bell. Very important. Now earlier this week, Monday and Tuesday to be specific, marked the annual Carson Lights Unlocks event. And you guys will already know it's an event basically that happens every year in South Africa at this point, where they basically bring an international act and get them to headline along with a lot of the local acts in South Africa. In the past few years, they've mostly been bringing a lot of American acts to come through and perform. And this year, they obviously had McMill and Post Malone. And along with them, they brought obviously Sway, who I'm assuming, along with Castle Light, decided to have, if you guys don't know what Sway does, he basically has the show in America known as Sway in the Morning. And a lot of times, he usually gets the guests that he invites onto the show to do a freestyle before they actually leave. So what they decided to do with this particular event is when they brought him to SA, they had a lot of the SA cats come through and also kick some freestyles on the show. Some of the people that they brought through were Jay Marley, Moosley kicked a freestyle, and a number of others, including Aries. Now, most of the freestyles that were kicked there, at least the ones that I saw, obviously wasn't at the event this year. But a lot of the freestyles that I did see were pretty lit, were pretty dope, pretty decent, and a lot of them actually surprising. I'm sure you guys are gonna, get to hear my views on that on my next video. However, the aftermath of the show actually brought a lot of interesting perspectives into light, where Sjava did come out to actually call or point out the fact that it was interesting to see that at the show, they had a lot of the rappers in SA that rap in English, but didn't necessarily get any vernac rapper to actually jump on stage and kick a freestyle. This is what he actually came out and said. He said, "So Vele at the Meek show yesterday, there was not even one rapper that raps in South African language at the Sway Cyphers." He continued responding to a fan that said, "Sjava should calm the F down. He can rap in Zulu all he wants and it's cool, but that doesn't give him the right to question other people's art. Freedom of choice, nigga. We all do what we want to do. You heard?" Now, Sjava responded to it by saying, "I did not say the guys were whack or bad for rapping in English is pugu pugu. I said, why bangabizwa aba rapa ngolimi lwasekhaya? Why are you guys twisting my words?" Now, Sjava's take on this, I actually found quite interesting. Especially because I think I've spoken on this channel in the past about the fact that I do feel that a lot of the Kasi rappers or the rappers that generally rap in vernac, they don't necessarily usually get the spotlight and the platform as much as a lot of the rappers that choose to rap in English and so on and so forth. And it's not necessarily because they don't have a fan base. It's just usually either their fan base is not necessarily online, or if they do actually have some type of fan base, their branding is just not necessarily proper. And this is what you're getting to see also in this particular situation, I think, because if you look at it, they obviously bought Jay Marley, they bought Moosley, they bought Aries, they brought a lot of the names that are more prominent in the industry. But what Sjava is calling out is actually correct, because there's a lot of vernac rappers that are actually quite popular and their brands are actually quite big that could have been called. And as much as I respect what Moosley, Jay Marley and the others did on the Sway freestyle, truth be told, if we're talking about Sway 5 Fingers of Death and, really rapping and freestyling and all these other things, we can all honestly come out and say that the Kasi rappers kill that thing like more than most of the rappers that exist in the game. Like, I don't even want to lie about it. If you're talking about, for example, the F-Eases of the day, if you want to talk about the Red Buttons of the day, if you want to talk about the Duncans of the day, if you want to talk about the Zakwes, for example, of the day, these are the rappers that I look at when I think about freestyling and I think about just general rapping and spitting off the top of the dome. These are the rappers that I think about for the most part. I don't necessarily think about Jay Marley, though I do think he did a good job. I don't think about Muesli, though I do think that she also did a good job. So I do think in this particular situation, what Sjava is actually asking is an important question that speaks to the fact that a lot of Finnick rappers are generally overlooked in the game when it comes down to a lot of things. And I can't necessarily pinpoint why that is, okay? I cannot, and I think my earlier statements might not necessarily even be accurate, because I cannot even necessarily say it's fully just branding, because some of them have broken it through into the scene, you know? The Zakwas of the day have been killing it. It's not like they're not within the scene or in the rap industry, or are not known in the music industry. It just seems like whenever things come up, whether it's a deal, whether it's an international gig, or it might be whatever way you're talking about, brands getting involved, it always seems like these more vernac brands generally just tend to be overlooked. And I think what Sjava is saying is important. Obviously, Sway did come to Africa. When you bring Sway to Africa, I'm assuming he not only wants to hear what he usually hears in the US, it would have been dope for him to also hear people that rap in their home language, hear how they spit, hear how they, control the crowd as far as freestyling. And from what I heard, a lot of the people that were rapping there, they sounded dope, yes, but they were spitting a lot of writtens. It would have been nice to have guys that spit straight off of the dome, that are talented in that particular spectrum of rap, also come through and do their thing. And like I'm saying, I'm not saying that there aren't any rappers that rap in English that do it well. I'm just saying that for the most part, if you're talking about SA, the Vernac rappers do very well in that particular field. And so I do feel that, what Sjava is saying is pointing out an actual fact, and is pointing out something that is important that I think needs to actually start happening in the industry, where I do think that at least the Vernac rappers need to start being elevated a little more. I do feel, they also could have called Big Zulu. He actually won, I think, Best Newcomer last year at the SA Hip Hop Awards. These are guys that when you're talking about freestyling, it's not like they think about it. Like, the stuff just comes off the top and they start spitting. So, I don't know. I think Sjava makes a good point. But you guys leave me your comments in the comment section, letting me know what you think about this. What do you guys think of Sjava's statements about Casa Light and Locks, and, basically Sway coming through to South Africa and having no Vernac rappers on the lineup to actually spit the freestyles? What do you guys think is causing the constant sort of overlooking of Vernac rappers in the game? There was a time that they were at the forefront, but they've sort of taken a backseat a little bit. There was a time when Zakwa, for example, first came out. Like, he came out at a time where not a lot of artists were actually going gold or going platinum in hip hop anymore, and he came out and he sold gold. So, there was that period, but it seems that period has up and left again, and it seems it's not even that they're not big. They just, it's like nobody is seeking for them, or they just get overlooked for some reason. Y'all leave me your comments and definitely subscribe. Awesome.